Seb, if you can continue to.
I'm happy, don't worry.
Okay, thank you all very much for joining us today. This is NINAS, the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. And it is the alliance of the Middle Belt to the South. It is the majority of Nigeria. And NINAS is united for freedom. As you all probably know by now, we are all living in apartheid as slaves in our own country, in our own land. We are facing an existential threat from not just one avenue, but two. We've got those who want to dip the Quran into the ocean and take away our religious freedoms, a right to our religious beliefs, whatever they may be. And then we have those who claim that the land, our ancestral lands, belong to them. And they have teamed up, terrorist groups, teaming up to try to take our land and to try to end the future of our children. So NINAS has taken a long journey to carefully lay out a plan that will deliver us and free us in our own land. There is one little instrument called the 1999 Constitution. That's what's been used. And there's a mechanism called the general election. That's what's being used to keep that 1999, I might add, fraudulent and murderous 1999 Constitution in place. And what has NINAS done? NINAS has instituted what is called the Constitutional Force Majeure, December 16th of 2020. And it has rejected, repudiated, and refused to accept that 1999 Constitution as the basis for the Union Nigeria. And it has declared a sovereignty dispute. What does that mean exactly? It means that we are exercising our self-determination rights to regain our sovereignty, which is an inalienable property that we have. Can it be hijacked? Well, it has been in our case. Because from 1960 to 1966, there really wasn't a Union Nigeria that was agreed to. And today, what we have is not a Union Nigeria. So welcome to NINAS. And today we have an exciting show. We are going to be talking about the NINAS Million Man Freedom March that is taking place in New York. We started on the 14th. We had a march on the 14th and the 15th. And we're going to have another march on the 24th. So we're going to talk about how it's been going. We're going to look at a video, which is the welcome video from Akintoye, and Ogaraka is going to run that for us. We're going to have some young people here talking about their experience. We're going to have some not so young people talking about their experience. And then we're really going to talk about how do we, all of us, doesn't matter where we are, participate in really knocking it out of the park next week. And so I am going to ask Ogaraka if he can cue up the video from Prof. Akintoye, who is the chairman for NINAS and also the leader for Ilana Amo Odua, which is the Yoruba bloc of the NINAS Alliance. So if you could please, it's the next one over that I see. If you could please cue that up in the future so that you have the video up, that would be.
I have that. I've downloaded them already. It's okay.
Yeah, no, the other one, Akintoye's message. No, you need to actually have that. Yeah, you need to actually click on it so that we can go straight to it. Right, it needs to be actually open like this so you can click to it and not have to go searching for it. If you can raise the volume a bit too.
say more because of the technological problems, network problems. But you all know what I'm saying. I welcome you. We ask the United Nations to organize a referendum so we can exercise our right to choose. Thank you all. Welcome. And may God give us the victory that we seek. We shall overcome.
Amen. Amen. If you could
Amen.
stop sharing now, Garaka, that's awesome. So basically, I can tell you, if you could please stop sharing, if you can please stop sharing because we're still seeing your screen.
Is that done?
You need to stop sharing.
Stop sharing, please.
Right.
That's a nice one. You have their picture.
Yeah. So you're gonna, yes, you need to queue up the videos,
Okay.
meaning you actually click on the videos and they're ready for you to just
Okay, three of them together, okay.
right. Just you have to open them up so that
okay.
you're not having to step through because this is live now, and then it will be
Okay.
showing all your stuff.
All right.
Okay, you can do that. That'll be great. And then all you have to do is to stop sharing. Okay, so what Prof Akintoye was saying is that we have a situation in Nigeria, as I talked about earlier, where we have people who are trying to take over our land. We have them being imported into our land. We have them killing people in our land. We have them taking the lion's share of the revenues coming from our land. And we are there for the UN General Assembly to let the world know, to let the UN know, the world leaders know what is going on, and to demand that they take action to save our people. Okay, so that's what we are doing. So I am going to call on, I see Johnny Nasike. Johnny, I am going to make you a co-host. I know your voice is struggling just as mine is, but if you can tell us a little bit about how the march is going. If you can tell us a little bit about what happened on the 14th and the 15th, that would be awesome. I'm making you a co-host now. Okay, there you are. So Johnny, you are welcome.
Oh, sorry, Jean, I'm not at a place where I can speak.
Okay.
Let me just go to someone else, please.
Okay, that is fine. That is fine. Okay, I am going to go to Eugene. Eugene was on the ground. And Eugene, can you tell us a little bit about the march itself? If you can tell us a little bit about the march itself on the 14th and the 15th.
Well, in 15th, there were a lot of people that showed up with great enthusiasm. And also, we had banners, and we had the bullhorn, and then also we are streaming on. They were streaming live on Facebook and also, I believe, on YouTube. So, just to conclude, I would say that those 2 days were very successful. If we can have a showing on the 24th, that many number of people, and then maybe more, I think our movement is showing some great impact in conveying the messages that we're trying to showcase to the world.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. It really was hugely successful, no question about that. And everyone was really high energy. And I'll give you the perspective from the New York policeman that was with us. He was amazed. He said that he had not seen so much passion being exhibited, and he was really excited to be a part and was looking forward to being part of the proceedings, because we did have a detective that was leading us around. So let me just set the stage for you. We are in Dag Park, which is very close to the UN location, and we had a gathering of a great number of people. And we had the signs. It was this is a NINAS event, so it was a mixture of the Yoruba bloc, the Lower Niger, and the Middle Belt. And the energy was tremendous. And if any of you have taken a look at that, you would see that it was. And then we also had a group of us that went over to the UN building. And there they had the opportunity to speak directly to all of those who were coming through. And then during the march, there was those of us that actually went to the Nigeria house, and we stopped there, and they also got the opportunity to get the message across. So it felt like we were everywhere in New York, obviously. And a lot of people stopped. We had, quite a few reporters that were asking questions, interviewing people. We had a ton of bloggers. I'm not sure you guys recognize that, but there were a ton of bloggers with, lots of followers who were there. They were streaming live. They were speaking to people. They were getting information that they can pass along. And so it was really just so much energy, and everyone was really impassioned about it. We had pictures, that were depicting some of the atrocities that was going on in Nigeria. And so passerbys, as they were going by, cars as they were going by, could very easily identify what was going on, because it's not just our people that we need to convince about what's going on. The world needs to see and hear. And every time we told the person or told the group, we said, do you know that 400,000 people have been killed already? They shuddered. They didn't know that it was to that extent. When you tell them that 300,000 has fled as refugees, they were shocked. And they can do the math. If 300,000 is out already, can you imagine what happens if Nigeria is overrun with over 200 million people, of which more than half of that are the ones that are being hunted and killed? It would be a devastating blow to everywhere around the world. And then we tell them about the 4 million, over 4 million, that have been displaced from the lands and their farms destroyed. And they're living in IDP camps, those are the internally displaced people's camp, living in squalor. I wept when I saw the last batch of those that have been displaced from Benue State. They simply put a stick in the ground and put mosquito netting over it, and that was their home. And the government has done nothing to help those that have been displaced. As you can see, those that are killing, the Fulani herdsmen, have not been prosecuted. They have not been brought to book. The Boko Haram terrorists that have been caught have been now termed to be repentant and put into the Nigerian armed forces. Do you see a bit of Afghanistan going on here? But let me make this even more chilling for you. December 10th of 2020, the International Criminal Court proclaimed to the world that it had reasonable basis to believe that the Nigerian armed forces had committed crimes against humanity. Now remember, this is crimes against its own people, the people that are supposed to be their people. And get this, that rose to the level of war crimes. Do you know what that is saying? And yet we have the Nigerian government putting terrorists, repentant they are called, into the armed forces that's already being accused of war crimes against its own people. Lest we all forget, some of you may not know, Buhari himself released the information that the then President Trump had asked him, why are you killing your people? He didn't say, why are your people being killed? He said, why are you killing your people? And so there's a lot going on. So what exactly are we asking the United Nations to do? I see Modupe is here. Her voice is definitely challenged as mine, and Modupe, I have made you a co-host. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're asking the United Nations to do?
Yes. Thank you, Jane. And sorry, hello everyone. My voice is still, I'm still struggling to
Yes,
get my voice back, because of the noise, but definitely I have no regrets at all. Our rally, our rally there in New York has been very, very successful, even beyond what I expected.
Any
So,
expectations beyond
exactly
any expectations?
any expectations. So yeah, so thank you. So to put it very, in a plain language, enough is enough, and we made it clear, when at the rally, and we're still saying that, because this union is, the union with Nigeria is heading nowhere, as we all know. In the last 60 years, some of those concerns have already been, touched on by Jane and several of us. But this is what we are trying to make the world to be aware of. Let me just say quickly, when I was speaking with, with a colleague of mine who happens to be African American, and I was talking about some of the things happening in Nigeria, and she said, you know what? I have not heard none of this.
Yes.
Every time I hear about Nigeria, in fact, I just heard that there were floodings or something, flooding and problems with with the weather and stuff like that. She said, so why aren't people speaking up? And I said, we are. She said, well, maybe you guys are not speaking loud enough.
Exactly.
So that's why we are now bringing it to the forefront, so that the world can know the evil that is going on there in that space called Nigeria, the atrocities that are being perpetrated by Fulani headsmen under the watch of Buhari. And he has been mute about it. But you know what? He has not only been mute, he has been complicit too. Recently, the UAE just released, a list of terrorists. 6 of them are Nigerians. What has Buhari done? Has he even come on, on the news media, or even just come out to say, these 6 people were looking into this? He has not even addressed it at all. So we're asking the people of the world to join us to condemn these atrocities.
Absolutely.
To condemn it and to hold Buhari accountable. Because many notable people in Nigeria, like retired military officers, General Danjuma, intelligence officers, people who were former heads of institutions and and parastatals in Nigeria, are saying that people in Buhari's administration, several people in Buhari's administration, are sponsoring terrorism. So does that explain why he's been quiet about it? Absolutely. So we're asking the UN and the people of the world to let Buhari know that he needs to stop sponsoring terrorism, and that the rights of the people to seek self-determination should be respected. This is the same Buhari in 2015 who made a speech at the United Nations pleading and demanding for self-determination for the Palestinians. But then he refused to respect the same request from his people. If we talk about the way the lives of our people have been in the last 6 years, it's nothing to write home about. Electricity is a dream. Electricity is a dream. Infrastructures are already broken, right? We don't even have good roads. The roads are like death traps. Pipe-borne water is an illusion. Opportunities for the young ones are non-existent. And yet He wants us to continue like this. And then on top of it, the lives are not safe. Insecurity is the order of the day. So these are the things that we want the world to know. And that at this point, we want a peaceful separation from that union. It was a forced union anyway. We never asked for it. It was forced on us.
Okay, if you can wrap up now, that would be great.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah, I'm done. So definitely, we want the world, we want the United Nations to know that we want a peaceful separation from that union. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Yes, the things that are going on are just alarming. In 2018, as you was talking about, T.Y. Danjuma made it very clear. And I still remember the first time I heard it. It still rings in my ears when he said, "The armed forces are not for you." He said, they collude. If you haven't seen it, listen to it. It's very chilling. And he says that we need to, to the hills of Israel, we need to get ourselves armed because they are coming and they have help. And we have seen that. The NDA got infiltrated by repentant Boko Haram. And we were told that the guards, all of them apparently fell asleep. Have you guys ever seen soldiers fall asleep? Have those soldiers been court-martialed yet? Have they been held responsible for the death of the specifically Middle Belt or Southerners that were taken and killed? Okay, let's say all of them fell asleep. What happened to the video that would link to the second line? Now, let's talk about this. This is a Nigerian Defense Academy. Are you listening? Nigerian Defense Academy. Let me say it again. Nigerian Defense Academy. And this is a government that is getting intelligence from the United States. It's getting intelligence from the United States, and it cannot foil an attempt to penetrate the Nigerian Defense Academy. Who believes this? Is it even believable? No, it isn't. But let's stick to the march. Let's go to Seb. Seb, talk to us about the impact that this match has been having and what has been happening with the media in Nigeria. You're welcome, Seb.
Thank you, Jen. It looks like I have an echo.
No, we can hear you okay over here.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad that you are here. It's wonderful seeing you every weekend, but this weekend is a very special one, as you
Absolutely.
Yes, as you all know. Many thought that NINAS, the Great Alliance, was joking when we announced that we were gonna welcome the diplomats from all around the world to the 76th United Nations session. Well, the government in Aso Rock, they knew we are not joking. They knew we are not joking. To the extent that they dispatched the chief of staff, right? They dispatched Gambari himself to the United Nations ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, what was the chief of staff of our president doing in United Nations? Is he the chief diplomat or what? We have a minister of external affairs who could coordinate any activities of our diplomats in the United Nations. No, they dispatched Gambari there to help our sister, Amina Mohammed.
Yes.
But all those things wouldn't work because they were probably hoping that they will stop the demonstration, that they will impress it on the American government to stop our demonstration. They didn't know that there is something called democracy in America, that you can come and demonstrate and show your problems to the world. So we had it, we had our ground, our people were there, the people saw, the people interacted with us, they asked questions, as Jean has already said, they learned things that they have not known all the time. And what did our government do? Our government was jittery. Garba Shehu was jittery.
Did you tell us why about the coverage in Nigeria?
He was no, it's all over the media. I hope all of you have read some of the feedback in the media. The Nigerian media was all over with it. What's happening in New York? And then Garba Shehu tried to play his usual blackmail tactics. Started to talk about terrorism, started to blackmail the IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. He attempted to blackmail NINAS, but all that was in vain, because what he said was, number one, it was nonsense. Number two, it was not a fact. People who have grievances in the alliance territory were welcome to come and show their grievances. All of us in the middle belt, all of us in the south of Nigeria, we are full of grievances. And we came there under the umbrella of NINAS to express our grievances, which our government is ignoring in Nigeria. So for Garba Shehu to come and start talking IPOB that or IPOB that is a show.
Seb, if you can kind of tell us how he addressed the media. Did he order them like they usually do?
No, after he tried that trick and it did not work, do you know what he did? I quote him. Our expectation is therefore for the media to work with the government to focus attention on the core issues the president and the leader of the country has on his program, but not to air, not to report what NINAS was doing in New York.
Or did he order them like they usually do?
Well, I don't think he could order them.
He was appealing to them.
Appealing to them. He was appealing to Nigerian media,
Yes.
not to air the democratic exercise that Nigerians are or we are doing in the UN headquarters. How does that come across to you? That the presidency was appealing to the media not to report on the democratic exercise that his citizens are doing in front of the United Nations.
Okay, thank you, Seb.
That speaks everything. That speaks everything, right?
Yeah, that's volumes. That's volumes.
That speaks volumes.
I mean, again, folks, this is what we're talking about. You know, this is a NINAS event. And Garba Shehu wants to talk about IPOB that NINAS has nothing to do with IPOB, nothing. NINAS is a peaceful movement, is an intellectual movement. NINAS is a movement that is utilizing the law to be able to get its people out, okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry,
That's why
I needed
to use
sorry,
black
yeah.
hair.
Yeah, so that was what he was trying to do. Because this is a NINAS event, has nothing to do with IPOP. Everyone was invited as long as they came under the NINAS banner. NINAS is about going to referendum and letting the blocks, the Middle Belt block, the Lower Niger block, and the Yoruba block vote, exercise the right to self-determination to determine their nationhood. But he wanted to distract from the huge success, from the fact that all of the media were showing everything going on. And everyone was captivated. Do you know that no one thought that we were going to be able to march? Well, we not only marched, we had New York police finest leading us. And they did a fantastic job. I am right now thanking the city of New York, the state of New York, and the New York Police Department. They have been fantastic. And anyone out there would tell you that. They have been fantastic. They've been amazing.
I hope
we cannot thank them enough.
I hope Garba Shehu will learn how the police people work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to be moving on, but this is the first time that the Nigerian government, for any march, they dispatched a senior, very senior person to go to the UN ahead. As soon as NINAS announced it, that we were going to be marching, they started trying to find ways to dampen what we were doing. And then when the news spread like wildfire, this is the march that was heard around the world. And so everyone in Nigeria, everyone in the alliance territory need to understand what is happening. They need to understand that it is our unity. It's our unity that drives their fear. Because united, we will win. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And that depends on us. How hard we work to activate our people, to understand the things that they need to do so that we can get our freedom. But we are no longer the starting gates. We are almost to the end. And I am going to bring up Johnny, who's going to speak a little bit about the demands that we're making, because he was there. He was leading the charge.
Yeah.
And he was encouraging people.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to see you. Jen, it's good to see you since New York. And Eugene, I saw Eugene out there in the program earlier.
Yes.
Eugene, it's good to see you again. Yes, and when you look at that, it was a very successful outing. Considering, when you look at the fact that the 2019 census has Nigeria population in the United States, people with Nigerian ancestry at about 461,000. That is men, women, and children. And then you come out to New York and you see that kind of a crowd. You look at the cost of that kind of a trip, to travel by air, to get there, to stay in a hotel in Manhattan for days. And the cost, it's not cheap. And yet so many people decided to do it. I saw people from Dallas, from North Carolina, from Utah, from all over the United States that came to New York to make their voices heard.
And international. We had people
internationally.
Yes.
People came in from everywhere.
Yes.
That tells you about the hunger. That tells you something about the hunger for freedom, for recovering our sovereignty, for building a nation that we can be proud of, a nation that we are part of creating.
Yes.
So it's just, it was a beautiful sight to see people. Our demand was referendum now. We weren't asking for a whole lot. A referendum. Let us decide how we are going to be governed. Help us, let us decide. Give us an opportunity, just like you gave Scotland. to decide, to vote. Referendum, voting is what it is. I mean, for people, for a government that conducts what I call, quote, quote, elections every 4 years, you would think they would be excited about referendum, because it's nothing but voting to decide if we want to be part of this union, if we want to be part of a different union, or how we want to relate to each other, to decide, the power to decide. That's all. What's wrong with that? Americans decide how the plan, the constitution they have is one that they made. We did not make this one. This is an imposition, apartheid. And we have had to endure it for such a long time. And they don't seem to be willing. It's actually a victory charter for these people. You know, so it's just an opportunity to decide.
Right.
And it's not like we don't have the capacity for chaos. If we decide that what we want is just chaos, anarchy, we can make that happen. But we're not. We are not anarchists.
We're not anarchists.
We are people who have built, builders. Builders are not very quick to destroy things. That we want to be able to have a managed transition, just like South Africa did when they moved from apartheid to a full democracy. We want, that's what we are doing. If you are from that space, you know that there's a lot of people out there who are saying to you, who have said to you, they've certainly talked to me, they have certainly said these things to me. Just tell us when it's going to start. They want violence. Let's go and take care of this. This is too much. We can't take it anymore. If you ignite that thing right now, let's say, for example, if NINAS were to forget everything about its core principles and say, let's go deal with it this way. The capacity is out there for chaos, but no, that's not what we're about. We're calling the world to do the right thing. Everything NINAS has done is a transition that has been put together by very intelligent people, very strategic people, to be able to act, to get to freedom without chaos. There's no point in all ending up like Somalia, because that can happen pretty quick. But we don't want that. This is a managed transition. That's why we're going to the UN. If you look at everything that needs to be done, we have done it in terms of what we are doing. And that is why we have the respect of the world. If you notice, Nigeria has some of the newspapers, the media, Nigerian media, everybody, they have quickly come to the full understanding of what NINAS is about. And they have nothing but respect. That's why they keep putting us in those front pages, you know, talking about what we are doing, because they understand that this is not just a few guys out there in New York or somewhere, you know, people who have lost their minds. No, they understand that this is the way out. That, you know, they've seen the people that are doing it and know that these are not crazy people. So thanks to every one of you that has continued to be part of this movement that will guarantee our freedom. And thank you. Like Jean, according to your question, it was just referendum. Yeah, that's the core message. Yeah. We invited everybody. We told people to come, but we also made it very clear that it's non-violent organizations. You know, any non-violent, that was actually the language in the invitation. Come. What Buhari wants to do, what the Nigerian government want to do is to now change that narrative and try to make it something else. Did you notice that in Garba Shehu's statement, there was no mention of NINAS? Yes. Why is that? Because he's scared of NINAS. Because NINAS actually has a case for sovereignty. That's what it's about.
You want to talk, since you opened that, do you want to talk about what the EU, the US, and the UK said to them back in March?
Exactly, exactly, because these foreign nations have learned lessons too from history, and they have looked at what we have. We covered all the bases. You understand all the engagement with the United Nations, with the United States government. There's been with the United Nations. There's been with these foreign governments over the years, EU, and they understand what is going on. They know what we are doing. They respect the people that have put this together. So you cannot go to them and tell them to come help you kill some animals who are causing trouble in your backyard. That's no longer the thing. That propaganda machinery is no longer working. And thank God we're in the information age. So the information is flowing from all angles. They are receiving the truth every day about what's happening in our neck of the woods. So the government propaganda machineries are no longer as effective as they used to be because they could always suppress truth years back. Right now, everybody's broadcasting nowadays.
Okay, if you can wrap up.
So they know that they told the Nigerian government, this one is not about guns. Go and talk to your people. And that was after receiving the constitutional force majeure, the constitutional dispute. They're telling the Nigerian government, no, don't come to us looking for arms to go and suppress an uprising. This is not about war. It's not about brigandage. This one is about sitting across with your people, looking them in the eyes, listening to them, and then while they listen to you, go and talk to your people and decide how you're going to live. That's what they told the Nigerian government. So we are in a different situation right now. And thanks to every one of you, the world is aware of what is going on.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I wanted to show some images, and we've got Evangelist Ige, who was a force to be reckoned with in New York. He was there early, he left late, and he is passionate about the NINAS message, make no mistake about it. So he's going to be showing up some images. Evangelist, you are a co-host. So if you want to go ahead and share some images and you can talk, where you're showing them, that's also.
Yeah, thank you very much. I thank you all, Jean, for the, oh my God, powerful work you did and that you are still doing. I thank you, Johnny. I had the opportunity to meet you in person. Eugene and a few others that I probably don't remember their name, from NINAS, from Lower Niger Congress, all our brothers and sisters in this very common movement and fight under NINAS. Thank you so much for taking time out to come to New York for all you did and you continue to do. I really thank you and appreciate you. And may God continue to bless our efforts and our work. As we all know, needless for me to say that this coming week is going to be the hottest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there is no too much this thing to say about it, because we know even if Buhari did not make it down to New York, other head of states, the people that we really need to pass our message to. And, we spoke today, Jane, about what we need to do that we know that is going to be really, really effective. So we must not relent. So I'm going to take some pictures that are already in my phone that I took. Most of us have seen some, blah, blah, blah. Please pardon me. This is the best way I know how to share it. You might see some of my computer stuff and on my, so I will just quickly share it. Finally, some of us that remember, we passed out, somebody went to buy these 4 big notes, right? I have one of them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pages. Let's say about 15 to 20 names on each page. Let's say 10 names on each page, 7 pages. I have over 100 telephone names and numbers with me here of the people that made it from different states and cities to this 4 days NINAS Million Man Freedom March Mega Rally in New York. Some of our people think or thought that's it. That is not it. You put something like a text together yesterday, Jean.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of edited it and I put some things out, which I circulated. You saw it. I was so tired yesterday. My intention was to send the text because some of these people may not be on different platforms and groups on WhatsApp that I am on already. I have shared that text far and wide for people to see it and reshare it. That Monday to Friday is going to be the hottest. Come back from Houston, from California, Washington, D.C., everywhere.
Utah.
At least Utah, Chicago, at least for 1 day. We don't know what
Absolutely.
we don't know what day Buhari is going to be making speech. Now, we have 3 other booklets. I only have one with me. If any of us has any, there are still hundreds of names and numbers. We need to send this text out. Over 100 names that I have here, I cannot get to all of them by sharing the text. I want volunteer so that I will just take the picture or the screenshot. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take the picture of all these pages and share it on this NINAS thing, so that some of us can share it, okay, number 1 to 20, so we can try and shoot that test out in a mass test where you can send single text to about 10, 15 people.
Yeah, maybe you can just put it on the platform and then
That's
people will send it out.
I am going to take picture of all those names. Please let us share
put it on the platform. Yeah.
And we need to do that today.
Absolutely.
So that all these people, this set can reach them, for them to know that Monday to Friday is going to be the hottest.
September 20th to the 24th. We march on the 24th, but we expect everybody there.
So that they can start making preparation.
Absolutely.
This is the finishing, guys, ladies and gentlemen. By this time tomorrow, you know, they are 5 hours ahead in Nigeria. Once Buhari boards that presidential jet and is en route to New York, the news will carry it. We will all know that the next stop is New York. So we need to put on our shoes, walking and rally shoe, and head back to New York. If what we have done these 4 days, Monday to Thursday last week, those are just rehearsal, practice. To me, we are just gathering momentum. It is going to be a war, fight to finish this week. Please let us come back to New York. Let us share the information. Let us mobilize and encourage people. It will not be nice for us not to surpass the number put together that we experienced Monday, Tuesday to Thursday last week. That is what I have to say. So let me just share the picture, or should I just save us time and just send those pictures to the platform?
Just send it to the. Can you please show the picture so that people can get a feel of what was actually happening?
Okay, let me show you. I will just have to go because okay.
And while he is loading the picture, I use the opportunity to also talk to all of us from around the world, those who could not make it to New York. So remember, your country of abode is also part of the world. So this Million March has to be organized in your country, especially those who have United Nations headquarters, United Nations offices in their countries.
Absolutely.
Organize similar marches to those places. Organize similar marches to your governments. UK, Germany, Switzerland. Switzerland has United Nations office. After the United Nations meeting, we have to be organizing such demonstrations in Switzerland continuously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. This is a call to everyone. A call, it doesn't matter where you are. I don't know if you had joined a meeting in last week and the week before. It does not matter where you are. Do you know what everyone can do that's so important? Contact the media. CNN, Al Jazeera. Contact the media where you are in Timbuktu, in Sierra Leone, in South Africa, in Nigeria, in the US, wherever you are, contact the media and tell them, send them the images and tell them what's going on. We have provided the information. We are demanding referendum. We have, NINAS have asked the world not to lend to Nigeria because it is a disputed project and the ethnic nationalities may not pay it back. No loans to Nigeria. They have asked that no arms should be sold to Nigeria because it's ending up in the hands of terrorists.
All right.
They're
So
asking for sanctions.
let me share the pictures now.
Okay, they're asking for sanctions against the country because it is not protecting its people. They are asking that Niiti Allah be labeled a terrorist group because they have admitted to kidnapping. They have admitted to what they call revenge killings. 400,000 people killed as revenge killings. Where's the rule of law? Where is the rule of law? If there were killings, why don't you bring it to the court system? 4 million people displaced from their land. 4 million people displaced from their land, their farms destroyed. And by the way, it's not heard of from a conflict, because if it was, it won't just be Southern Kaduna that you have conflict. Northern Kaduna, which is mainly Muslim, should have a conflict too. Now, all the farmers in Nigeria, Christians and non-extremist Muslims, right? We have to reach the media, not just the Nigerian media, anywhere you are. Every media helps us because we need friends. Have you called your friends in New York to ask them, why are you not on that line? Why haven't you taken a day to go down? Right? We can do that. What about the churches around the world? Have you contacted your own church? What are the church where you live? Christians are being killed. There's a genocide on. And so it doesn't matter where the church is. Doesn't matter where the magazines are, the newspapers. They should be part of this. And who gets them involved? Us, you, me, we are the ones to get them involved. Have you written letters to your lawmakers, those in the US, your senators, your congressional leaders? But even where you are in the UK, in Germany, wherever you are. And thank you, Canada, because Canada was having a march on the 14th at the same time. That's what we expect next week. All the continents, whether you're Ilana Omodua, whether you're Lower Niger Congress, whether you are Middle Belt, if you are in a place, as Seb said, that has a UN office, be there. If you don't have one and you have a Nigerian office, be there. Let us stand in solidarity around the world. That's what we can do. Okay, so this is that moment.
And Jen, another point. To understand how ridiculous the association with IPOB that the government was doing, on Tuesday, during the week, I probably saw, I think there was a couple, a man and his wife that were waving that were members of, identified themselves to me as you know, they had a Biafra flag. Yeah. And I explained to him the implications of any kind of identification of him, you know, expressing himself as an IPOB member, and he understood right away. I said, because we knew that government would try to take advantage of that. Absolutely. And he put away his flag and came as Igbo, part of the alliance territory. Yes. He understood. People understood what that meant and why with this NINAS chose to distance NINAS from IPOB in this event. IPOB is not part of NINAS or associated with NINAS in any way, shape, or form. And so the next day, there was like 3 people that came, and they were also informed, and they said they were there under NINAS, that they've been following NINAS as individuals, as people, as Igbo. And then we, you know, that was managed properly. So when you now look at a release from the government of Nigeria and they are talking about Yoruba Nation IPOB, it's just a fairy tale trying to draw away from what NINAS was doing. Talk about NINAS, I'm sure they can say NINAS, a baby can say NINAS, you know. So it's not like we're looking for attention. We understand why they can't mention it because it's scary.
Yes,
You know?
yes, yes.
That all the
The thing
nationalities
stands across his throat.
exactly that the South and the Middle Belt has come together and said this constitution we did not make it, and that we want to that this is a disputed document at this point, and then there are sovereignty issues being raised. That's scary. They don't want to. They are scared, so they just pick up whatever little mud that they can pick up without basis whatsoever, and that's what they're doing. Just I want everybody to understand that game. And next time we gather, nobody should even give them a chance. Make sure that we don't give them anything that they can take advantage of in that form. Not that we did this time around, but just to make sure that that opportunity does not arise, because they want it and they will eat it up. So
yeah,
it's
just to buttress what John is saying. I don't know how many of you are paying attention, but if you just reason it out for a quick minute, every time IPOB shows up, the Nigerian government wants to label the Yoruba as a terrorist group. So working together means that IPOB, knowing that that is the case, if they support our freedom, if they come to any of these marches, they need to put all of that paraphernalia away. Because the first time it happened, second, third, fourth, you said, oh, well, but fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, why are you still coming? Holding the thing that is going to shut down the freedom movement, that the government wants to use to shut down the government, the freedom movement. It defies logic. It absolutely defies logic. If IPOB is for the people, if IPOB is for freedom, why are they coming knowing? They already know, you know, I know, we all know. As soon as they show up, before
no, Jin,
you even blink, before you even blink, the picture is in Nigeria. The Nigerian government has already issued a statement.
Mm-hmm.
So when
yes,
you come,
let's also look at it as what it is. This is just a man and his wife, and then the next day 3 people, total of 5 or 6 people. Let's say 5 people, I think, yeah, in there. So let's not
no, what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't, but that's the point, Johnny.
Yes, yeah.
One person shows up and carries IPOB, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're on the fringes. It doesn't matter. Immediately his picture is sent to Nigeria, or they Photoshop their banner, or they Photoshop whatever else that they Photoshop, right? Yeah. Immediately, the Nigerian government responds. We know this. So why wouldn't IPOB put this stuff away? Why
let's continue.
Are you trying to help the government?
Let's continue.
Okay, let's move on.
Johnny, Jane and Johnny.
Yes.
I need a small clarification here, which I already know, but FYI for others that are here. By God's grace, I have made arrangement. I have planned. I'm committed with vigor. I am going to lead Monday and Tuesday march at the United Nations.
Awesome.
With you guys there, hopefully. If you're not there, fine. If you're there, we do what we got to do. Okay. We have a challenge which I have tried to discuss with Jean, and you probably have seen it and known it too. That rally that we had for the last 4 days, to put it mildly and shortly, we Yoruba population were more than 50%. Just to put it merely, I don't want to over-exaggerate. My average Yoruba brothers and sisters in this agitation, that they don't know as much as you and I and Jean does, believe, and they go out with that belief out there, that they are fighting for Yoruba nation self-determination. So therefore, they come with their paraphernalia and souvenirs, 100% Yoruba. I know
which I'm one of them.
Hold on, sir, hold on, please. I know all of us needs to submit under the authority of NINAS, because if by and through NINAS, without referendum, there is certainly no Yoruba nation, no Lower Niger Congress nations, no Middle Belt nations. Hold that fact, we all know. In the same vein, these 4 days United Nations rally that we had, and the one coming this week, take Yoruba people that are of this opinion, idea, and understanding out. There is no mega rally. Do you agree with me? How do we solve this challenge? By saying we should only flaunt, display, carries, NINAS, banners, and placards only. Now, that takes us to another challenge. We do not have enough. Now, even though if we print, let's say all of us that were there last 4 days combined are 5,000 people, right? I'm just putting it, hypothetically speaking. Let's say we see money today and we print 5,000 NINAS banner with slogan NINAS and everything, referendum, NINAS, blah, blah. My Yoruba brothers and sisters coming there, they will prefer to carry Yoruba thing, even if they are present there. We cannot force them. This is America. You are over 18, you are an adult, you do whatever.
Okay,
Any attempt to convince them, encourage them, change their mind, they will walk off that Plaza Park and go to the front of the United Nations and do their stuff.
Okay, I'm going to say something. I need to correct that a little bit before you continue.
Challenge for us, how do we resolve it? Because we need all of us together with NINAS. What and who constitute NINAS? Lower Niger people, Middle Belters, and we Yorubas. It is obvious Yorubas are over 50% in this thing. I cannot go out there on Monday and Tuesday. I will be there, live and direct, 100% body, soul, and energy. Only me cannot do it. And there is a limit to what I can tell or convince people. Yes, NINAS authority.
There's a misunderstanding here. Jen,
I know.
Yeah, I actually wanted to clarify something. Evangelist, please let me clarify something, please. Because I don't think that is putting the Yoruba people in the right light, and that's not correct. I would tell you this. This is what I will say. When we were going out for the march, and when we had the placards with the demands for the UN and the world leaders, every single one that we had was taken up. And people wrote also, because people wrote also on it. Okay, people were carrying the Yoruba now. But I assure you, if we had the Lower Niger now there, they would have carried it too. Yeah, I'm talking about this. I'm saying I want to put the Yoruba people in the right light, because it is my brother Evangelist that was saying, Igbo Queen. Am I lying, Evangelist?
No, of course not.
Are you Igbo? So everybody was gathered together. Yes, everybody was holding. We were holding the Yoruba. We were calling everybody.
Igbo South, and Southeast under Lower Niger Congress are part of NINAS. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're Yoruba. Okay, yes. You're Yoruba, you're in that block, but you were the one leading the charge with Igbo Queen.
Right.
And so I'm just saying how we are all blending together, right?
Thank you. I thought
we are all blending together. So every single placard that we had from NINAS was displayed on the march. And Evangelist, that when we came back, they had all disappeared, right? And we had to make some more. But that just shows you we are now binding together. This alliance is becoming strong.
Jen, let me add something. Let me add something there. Before the march actually started, we made sure that the NINAS flag, the NINAS banner was the one in front. And then every other thing, I remember that moment. Remember when you showed up with the flag?
Yes.
There was somebody that went and carried the Yoruba Nation banner and came in front, and I addressed them. I told them, no, this is a NINAS march. So the NINAS flag was there in front, and then there were a few people with the Yoruba banners that were behind. in that.
Staged it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So the NINAS flag was in the NINAS banner was in front, and it's
Can you please explain why that is so important? Why NINAS is important, so that everyone understands, because it's not us against them,
the
right?
central body, the central
Exactly.
body, the central authority body.
It is the covering.
Yeah,
It is our covering. It's a self-determined. NINAS is a self-determination covering. We come under it, and they cannot bring their guns. Okay?
Yes, yes. We did not make.
This is NINAS.
The only way why that can be effective, we all know, is, I mean, if it's still possible, you see, why we only had one, that's just one or two NINAS banner. Trust me, if we had about 10 copies of that, it will have dwarfed every other Yoruba, Lower Niger Congress, and Middle Belter banners over there, but we only had one or two.
Okay, let's move on, Evangelist. Evangelist.
That was what brought us to fighting for space, that, NINAS banners to be at the
Evangelist, I am going to move on, please. I will move on.
But he made a good point. He made a good point.
I understand, but we've talked about it, and him and I are already addressing that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not the place for this, please. It's not the place. We need to move on.
That's right.
We're talking about, this is not the forum for that conversation. Okay. I am going to do a huge shout out to my Yoruba brothers, because all of them want to marry me into Yoruba land. And so I'm excited. I'm going to have lots of husbands, and my sisters as well. I mean, honestly, like I said, it was grand. I mean, the coming together was grand. Now, I will address this issue now and explain what is happening so people understand. When you look at the theory of how groups form, there's always a time, and I'm going to make this very short. It's called storming, norming, performing. So we're coming together for the first time to work together towards a common good. Yes, we have the alliance, but now we're combining to work together. There are lots of strong personalities. What happens first is called storming. You can't escape it. When you watch basketball teams, when they bring them together, did you see what happened to the US team? They lost to this person, lost to that person, until they gelled a little bit. That's what we're going through. It's nothing unusual. But I personally was very proud of how everyone came together. Yes, we're going to storm. And then things are going to normalize. And then we are going to perform the heck out of it. That's the process. This is nothing unusual. But this is not the place to talk about that. We are working through it. We're working together through it. Okay, I had just left Evangelist, and I sent him a text. I said, I miss you already, because he's high energy. He's all about NINAS. It's all about freedom. And that's what's important. That's where we all need to be. So we're going to move on. I'm trying to see if we have our young people. Ogarako, can you please play the video of a couple of our young people that were in front of the Nigeria House? If you can play that, that would be awesome. And then we're going to take a couple of questions. I'm trying to see if they're here, because I want to get their perspective, because we had young people there that were very enthusiastic. So I'm trying to see if they are here. Ogarako, can you pull that up so that we can do that? And I'm going to call, because I'm trying to see TJ. Oh, there's TJ. Okay. I'm going to have them. Honorable, are you able to play? Honorable, that's the last video that I sent to you. If you can open it up, there you go. And just play that as a short one. And then we'll have TJ unmute. Yeah, you needed to download it first so that you can show it, so you can play it. Okay, I'm just going to go to TJ while you bring up the video itself. We don't need to see, the wall doesn't need to see everything that's on there. So TJ, if you can get on video, please. And then if you can kind of tell us what your experience was, because I know you came out to New York.
I can see two young boys with
Yeah.
Is that the video you're looking for?
Yes. Okay, there you go, TJ. I'm gonna put you on speaker view. So can you tell us about your experience? Seb, can you mute? There's something going on your end. Okay. Go ahead and speak, TJ, so that you can come on the speaker view.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Hello.
afternoon. Good morning, wherever you may be living. I greeted everyone sitting down on this meeting. And thank you for being our mother, because you are the mother. I tell many people, if you don't get to understand, NINAS is for all indigenous citizen nationality, as Igbo, Yoruba, Ijo, Shekiri, anywhere you may, that is, we are under NINAS. I'm a Yoruba, you may be Biafra, you may be whatever you want the country to separate into, but we have to be under NINAS. That is the symbolized border taking us to United Nations. So for me being there, it's pleasure, it's glory, because I believe I'm speaking for myself and my generation, and for those who cannot speak. So I'm not scared of anybody, because getting down here is nobody who sent me down here. So, and if I can be here, life can be okay for me. And my mom is in that country where life is not okay for her. My junior one are there, my senior one are there. So I don't see reason why I will be reluctant or not to make my own impact, because what I believe is that here in America, the black in America, they are still fighting the whites not to subscribe them down, not to like deny them of their rights. But in my country, we are being denied totally. So how long? So if I have to come outside, that's my purpose of coming outside. And when I come outside, I want you to know that, no, you can't tell me not to talk. That's the only one thing. When I'm tired, I'll allow other people, but I have to speak what I'm seeing. There's a line, there's everything here. If it's okay like that in Nigeria, nobody will be clamoring for separation of Nigeria.
So tell me about your experience. What did you actually do during the march? Can you tell us about that?
During the march, I can say I did everything, but to me,
Yes.
I believe I practice faith and make my own impact, because that's my purpose of.
Did you go to the Nigeria house?
Yes, I go to Nigeria house. I had another one. I just sent you another one.
Yeah, I was trying to play that video. Can you play? Are you at a place where you can play it? Because Ogaraka wasn't able to play it. Are you at a place where you can play it? And you have some other people that were there.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was just like 5 minutes one.
Yeah.
One. That was the guy that covering that one. We are together at the rally also.
Right.
His name is Sonny. He lives in New York.
Right. Because I was trying to see the other people that were there. Is Prince Adele? Is that?
Yes, Sulaiman.
Sulaiman. Okay, I'm gonna have you unmute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have him speak for a minute.
All right.
Adele, if you can give us your perspective. I'm just letting you guys see that the young people were there, because this is about the future. Okay, this is about the future, and our young people were there. They were at the UN. They were at the Nigeria. They were marching. They were at the park. They were blasting. They were talking to people. Okay, so our young people, it's really important for you guys to be on full blast. So Prince Adele, can you give us your experience while you were out there?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry about the way I sound.
know, we're all suffering.
But it's a very, very good experience for all of us. It's not just about one person. It's all about NINAS. The day on the 14th and the 15th of this month, September, the gathering symbolized a lot for all of us as a youth as a youth that want to be youthful, as a youth that has been denied for all the good things of life. Because when you don't have anything, that's when you stay in Nigeria. But when you have something, this country and the rest of the leaders of NINAS give us the room, the voice to be able to speak our mind. I don't know nothing about NINAS before, but the moment I get there, I was reoriented.
Yeah.
The orientation came to me, and it naturally shows me that what we are all clamoring for about Yoruba Nation, about Lower Niger Congress, and about Ijaw Republic, and about the Biafrans, they are all right. We are all crying for the same thing. We've been marginalized for some time. We've been killed. Al-Qaeda is in Nigeria. Everybody are suffering. Like right now, what has happened, my experience at the rally is I'm overwhelmed. I'm happy that I can lend my voice. And I have also my brother that I was having an issue with him at the moment. But when I eventually, somebody talked to me and said, this guy has been here for several days, for several months, and he has been doing the right thing. We are all in the same cause. We are all doing the same thing to make our indigenous nation a place to be. We can later collaborate together and do the right thing and do the business together. We are all family somehow, but regardless of being a family, some people have been marginalized. Some people see themselves as born to rule. So I don't want to talk about that. But
awesome. I'm checking to see
I appreciate the fact that we have some people like, I don't know names, but the voice of the people that I heard from this platform, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Then I want the zeal to continue. I greeted all of you. I appreciate you. And may God in his infinite mercy continue to guide us and lead us to the right path. I'm so happy and I'm excited to speak for my generation at this moment at this unique moment of my lifetime. I have 4 kids. I have my parents back home. So if I don't play my part, who is going to play it? My children is going to ask me.
Absolutely.
So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. We were so excited to see you there.
Prince Adele, I'm expecting you on Monday and beyond.
Of
What city are you from? Are you going to be there?
I can show you.
They are in New York.
Before that day, I have upcoming procedure. You know, I have
all right, so I'll see you on Monday. God bless you, brother. Let's do it together.
Amen.
Monday.
All right. Thank you.
TJ.
Rally.
I will be there definitely. Thank you so much.
Bring all those your people. Okay, bring up. Jean, what my brother is saying in essence is that we have to continue collectively under NINAS as an umbrella.
He did a brilliant
get our referendum.
I couldn't have said it better myself. He did a brilliant job.
NINAS is the key to us getting our referendum for our different nation, period.
Yes. TJ, do you see the other, I'm trying to find.
He's also there. Sonny, I think Sonny is there. Let me see.
Okay, Raka, you can't play it you need to play it from a video. Okay, let me see. Were you able to pull it up? TJ, were you able to pull it up so you can
okay, let me see.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to make you a host so that you can do that.
Remember where that I can share this short video. It's only 1 minute.
Yeah, it's very short. I just need somebody to share it.
2 young men here.
Yes, okay.
Let me see whether is this one, right?
Okay, so we want to take some questions as well.
Is it showing?
Yes, you have started sharing, but we're not seeing the video yet. You have to go to the video.
Okay, so I started.
There we go.
He calls them out too.
I'm share Lego.
I saw that video.
I'm share. Nigeria now. Nigeria now. Nation. Middle belt. Arewa. Gao nation. Hausa nation. Fulani Malu nation.
It's a cow nation.
Yeah. We have done well. This is the country. We have done well. Yes, so. No good road. Yes, no idea. No infrastructure. You want to tell me this is a legacy of freedom. My housing. Second Avenue.
Okay, thank you very much, young people. We're very excited, to have the young people there. As you can see, lots of energy, lots and lots of energy. So we're going to pause and take some questions right now so that we can get the questions in. If you're going to ask a question, you have to be willing to go on video. So please, Ekelekam, if you can. Yes, you need to turn on your video and unmute. Okay, there you are. So
Hello,
if you have a question or a comment.
Good evening, Jen. Yes, 2 comments. How are you? Good to see you again.
How are you?
I'm okay. Well, two things I wanted to say here. We need more banners. It has been said a lot. We had NINAS banners, my banner from North Carolina that I made for myself, I came with. And if we had NINAS banners, I would have carried it along with others. So
we will have a lot more.
I would have had a lot more.
We had some 419.
Yeah. Second thing, the address that was written by Professor Banji and that was read by by Johnny. Actually, the hard copy. I tried to go inside the UN office to hand it over to the Secretary General or even his assistant. But the guard wouldn't let me go in. And they asked, I said, but you allow this forum, you can allow people to sit in and listen to the deliberations and conversations. They said, yes, it could be done, but you have to make that arrangement ahead of time.
Right.
So the letter that I was about to deliver, they said I can put it in the mail, and they gave me the address where it can be addressed to the President of the General Assembly of the United Nations or the Secretary General. And I have that address here. They wrote it to me for me to send the mail there, and that he will receive it and be able to read that as a minute to the United Nations General Assembly meeting. They asked me, I have the address here, I can text it in this forum later.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, because we're actually going to be sending it to all the world leaders there. And we are actually going to deliver a CD, a DVD of the atrocities with the letter. So that's going to be happening this coming week.
Yes, I just want, Ekele, it's good to see you. Awesome. Yes, I just want to let everybody know that NINAS has a channel there, and that is going to be communicated also.
Right, absolutely.
There's a channel for it there that is going to the Trusteeship Council.
Absolutely.
And it will be communicated, it will be sent over.
Okay, yeah, that let us.
Yes, we have the channel, yes, for sending that message in there. Yes.
If an arrangement can be made between now and the 24th for some of us to sit in at the General Assembly, if possible, with even our banners, when whoever is going to be speaking for the Nigerian government, if we sit in there and after his speech, we can rise and say the thing that has been happening there, that would be a very powerful tool. This is outside. I mean, if we can have inside representation, if it's possible to work on with our contact, please, that's something I want to bring to our attention. Okay?
Awesome, right. Like I said, the letter is going to be going in there, and we're also going to be delivering the DVD that would show, because we've collated the atrocities, a lot of the atrocities and the headlines. including the information from the UN themselves, because the UN sent a special rapporteur after the engagement by the Lower Niger Congress, which was, the body that was kind of moving the process along. And the special rapporteur in 2019, lo and behold, said that the constitutional arrangement, right, Johnny?
Yes. Agnes Calamat,
Yes.
after the engagement with the United States in 2019, the UN at the behest of the United States, US had something to do with that visit,
right,
where the UN was told to go and look into what's happening in Nigeria based on the evidence that the Lower Niger Congress team led by Tony Nadi presented to them at the US government, in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, and in the State Department. It was very open. It was in the news here in the United States. It was very open. After that, the US listened very carefully and they had everything. It was a very well done outreach that now became the basis for US national security policy towards Nigeria and the Lake Chad Basin. Everything they did from that point was based on the truth that they received during those engagements. And
she did say, right, that it was a pressure cooker, the constitutional arrangement.
Yes, I was getting to that, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Agnes Calamat was the special rapporteur on ethno-religious killings, was sent to Nigeria to go and see what was happening. It was in the media. It was very prolific. She went into great detail. She got to the bottom of things. And then when she released her report, which is online, you can see it, every one of you. She indicted that Nigerian 1999 constitution as a pressure cooker for injustice. Those were her words. Those were the words from her report. As a pressure cooker for injustice. The same 1999 constitution that was told to the United States at the highest level of policy makers. So the UN, we have had channels of communication with the UN for a very long time. So nobody should worry about getting the letter to them that way, because we know how to get the letters. The letters will be in. They receive it. Even they have a copy of the Constitutional Force Majeure. And mind you, this one is going to the Trusteeship Council. There are different departments in the UN. For those of you, like you hear some people say, we went to the UN. In some organizations tell you that they went to the UN. UN is an open place. It was actually after 9/11 that people started becoming very careful about security, where you could go and things like that. It's a very open place where anybody can come with any kind of complaint that they have. People can write letters and things, but NINAS knows the exact places where these kind of matters are addressed. And that is because we are led by experts on these matters, people that know how that machinery works. So our movement, what we did there and everything, it's all targeted directly. If you read that letter, it's going to the exact places where these decisions are made, the exact departments where these things are made. And
talk a little bit about the ongoing communication too.
Awesome.
Oh, the ongoing communication with the UN?
Right.
Oh, a lot of those things we can't put on the public square until, but we have, the UN was informed about the Constitutional Force Majeure. Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, good. So they were informed, they have a copy of it, and the Constitutional Force Majeure, they know there is a constitutional dispute about Nigeria. The case that was made in the Constitutional Force Majeure is hands down. I mean, any human being reading it will know that 419 has taken place, looking at that constitution. So they are aware of it. Everything that is being done, that's what I love about the NINAS mechanism. It is awesome because we are guided by experts in what we are doing. We know exactly where we're going, who to meet, who is handling what in there. That's why we're not scared of the Amina Mohammed thing. Absolutely. Because Amina Mohammed was there, and yet Agnes Calamat was sent. If that was passing through Amina Mohammed's desk, do you think Agnes Calamat would have been sent to Nigeria?
And another Another special rapporteur went out in 2020 as well. There was one in
exactly.
2020. Yeah.
In 2020, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So these things, we are peoples under the UN. If you go to the United Nations over there, and this is why they are so scared of NINAS. And that is because NINAS has a case. You know, I tell our people who are going, talking about the Biafra, this, when you go to the UN, the first thing they're going to ask you is, what is the map of this territory? You have to know where the boundaries are. These are boundaries that are established. Number one, you have to know, you have to be able to tell them the territory that I'm seeking sovereignty for starts here and ends here. Precisely. They have to know that. The Biafra movement does not have that, because when you pull out the Biafra flag, and the question we have asked the Biafra movement for many years is, where does this territory start and end? And then you hear something, somebody comes up to you and tells you that there was a time Nnamdi Kanu said something about wherever you see a woman wearing two wrapper, that is Biafra. UN will not accept that. There was a time they released a report that said that that came up with this 14th century or thereabout Biafra that started from somewhere in Cameroon, ending somewhere close to Angola, that has absolutely nothing to do with the present day Eastern Nigeria. UN will not accept that. You have to give them a definite map of the territory. And then when you give them that definite map of the territory, which they don't have, because when you present that map, suddenly Urobo is asking you, did you consult me before you put me here? Ishekiri will be asking you the same question. Efik will be angry with you. Bini, everybody will be looking at you and going, why did we agree? Because the next step, the next requirement at the UN is this. Where is your charter of relationship? Because in their database also, they have all the ethnic nationalities, all the language groups within that space that you have presented to them. And they are going to be asking them that. That's why Lower Niger Congress, our people in the Middle Belt are all working on charter of relationships today. You see, and that is because even before Lower Niger Congress started, we took 6 years to go around the entire territory, make sure that everybody was in before we even went public. It was done from Oba of Benin to Olu of Wari to the Amanyana boss, all the way to the Obong in Calabar. This movement that started from the Igbo space and then went all over there to where everybody got involved. So all these people were in, all these language groups were in before we even took before we even stepped out. And then when you go for the charter, when you go before the UN, they don't want you telling them that Ijo has agreed with you, or that Ishekiri has agreed with you, or Igbo has agreed with you. They want them standing there with you, saying that, yes, we are with you. That is how the UN works. So we covered all those bases, and that is why that's why we cannot fail, because we have covered all the bases, and it's self-determination. And then we are also at a point where we are lucky to be seeking sovereignty at this time, when the UN rules now specify that we don't need permission from Nigeria to do it. Just like the Scottish people did not need the English to agree with them. You can just decide, it is your right to self-determination to vote. When that self-determination starts, all these different regions will be the ones voting. Sokoto will not be voting in that. It will be the people of the territory that want self-determination, that want to decide in the referendum, that will vote. So it is being handled by very brilliant minds, people who, strategy, by a very brilliant strategy. And that's what, yes. So that's where I stop. That's why they don't even want to, it's this much, the Nigerian government thought they could just go in there and get the National Assembly to put together a constitution or amendments, and found out that we had already managed that situation years before they got there.
Absolutely.
And they were like, wow, we can't change this, all the things, all the defenses that we're putting in there, all the tricks, manipulating the local government areas, getting more votes and more seats in Congress and all that stuff wasn't going to help them. So right now there's desperation. So
okay, you can wrap up.
We'll get to that roundtable. Yes, we will. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much. And that was very informative, Johnny. That was really a great summary, because a lot of people don't really understand how the UN works. And it's great for them to understand what's going behind the scenes and all the things that need to happen. And if you go to the NINASFFN.org or freedomfromnigeria.com, you will find the information. It is in one handy document that walks you through everything that has happened. But now I want to talk about the women of the movement. I've got Modupe here, who spoke a little bit earlier, and I wanted her to talk about the women. How were the women doing at this march? Were we in force?
Oh, we are so fired up. Trust me. And so actually there, when I was about to read I think the final draft of the message, right. I had Barrister Tinu Akinshola. She was the one who read the first part, actually majority of that part of it, of the message, before I took the baton from her. But yeah, everybody is so fired up. I mean, we're so committed to this because, as mothers, our first role is to nurture, right?
Absolutely.
And so the children that we're nurturing, they, I'm speaking collectively, the children that we're nurturing for our future are being cut down in their primes.
Yes.
If you see some of those pictures, like a lot of the boys that are being killed, that by itself is an act of war when they're taking out all of the men. What does that mean?
Yes.
They're cutting down our ability to procreate, to increase our population. They want to intervene in something that God, what God has already worked on, and that is not going to happen. And that's the position that the women are taking in this movement.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much. And talking about children, we have 100 million Nigerians living in abject poverty. 100 million. Did you guys hear that number? 100 million. And under Buhari, Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world, taking over from India with over 1.12 billion people. 100 million. Do you know what that means? She's talking about children. There's maybe about, 40 million in that? Think about 40 million children not having the right nutrition for their mental health to develop and actually dying. Those numbers are not included in the 400,000 that are already killed. Are you listening? 100 million. That's the situation we face in Nigeria. So we're saying sanction this government, condemn this government. Demand that the government protect its people. Demand that we get the referendum so that the ethnic blocs can regain their sovereignty and protect their people. No arms sales, no loans. Media Allah needs to be properly labeled as the terrorist organization that it is, because the Fulani herdsmen are roaming. Stop the genocide. The genocide must be stopped. As Modupe just told you, there is that horrific video, that they took themselves and put out. They marched men and young boys that they captured. Then they marched, showed themselves with their young children carrying machetes. Then they show these young children with rain boots on, cutting off the head of these young children. Horrific. Horrific. This is what's going on in Nigeria.
Okay, let's go to...
Everyone needs to come out, because it's not just about the few that are coming out. It's everyone. If you're in New York and you're not out there next week, shame on you. Shame on you. Even if you have no plans of going back, there are 100 million people living in poverty. People are being killed every day. Even if you're not Nigerian, you should rise up and come and join us. Churches, rise up and come and join us. Okay? So Johnny, go ahead. And we're getting ready to close down in 2 minutes.
Yeah, make me co-host. I want to share that.
You are co-host. You are co-host.
Not yet. No, not at this point.
Okay, because I brought you in. As soon as you came in, I made you one.
Okay.
Okay, something must have happened. Okay, there you go.
Okay, good, good. Yes, I want to share the, let's see. There's a ninasvoice.org for donations. We have a place where you can, this website is new, and we are, there's still a few little things, you know, that are being added, but you can go in and donate at ninasvoice.org. What you do is when you go in there, you click on donate, and you can use PayPal or credit cards to send your donations. Just like that. You can just go in, put in your personal information, select the amount that you want to donate, and you are in ninasvoice.org. ninasvoice.org. You click donate. PayPal, credit cards. We're going to add GoFundMe, Zelle. All that information will be in, but you can donate right now at ninasvoice.org.
Awesome.
You know, thank you very much. ninasvoice.org. Who has a good commercial voice? Those people that do commercial on radio.
Welcome, everyone. And
Jill, you can do that.
We are having a drive to save the children in Nigeria from the herdsmen who are trying to kill them. Please, your donation, every penny of it, goes towards saving those children, not just from the herdsmen, but also from hunger. Adopt a child today.
Oh, Njenje, you're doing the wrong one. This is not NINAS anymore.
Well, if they have to, actually, they have to adopt a child. If they adopt a child, they'll give you money every month, Johnny.
No,
okay? You have to understand the reason
for the
behind
movement.
that, right? They gotta adopt a child because they will give you money every month. That's how that works. Okay.
Yes. Our time is up.
Thank you very much, everyone. We are coming to the end of this very vigorous session. This is a very informal session, as you saw. We just wanted to give you a feel of what's going on and really encourage everyone to come out and, yes, adopt a Nigerian child and send in your money every month. Okay, unfortunately, we won't be able to send you information, but you will see the numbers going down from 100 million to maybe 95 million by your donations. So thank you, everyone. We've just been very exciting to have you on the show today. And we are looking forward to seeing you next week. As my brother Evangelist, can you lend your voice? My voice is really, getting weak here. Can you lend your voice to, can I encourage everyone to join us?
Yeah, thank you. It's my TV.
We can't hear your voice, Evangelist. I know it's challenged like mine, but please.
Evangelist has been screaming all week, has been shouting all week.
I know, I'm trying to mute my TV. So I look forward to seeing everyone again. Please, everything we have done this past week is rehearsal and practice, practice, practice.
Amen.
Now
we're going to have tons of banners everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, now.
Yeah, Evangelist gave me specific numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, let's discuss that as soon as we go out of streaming right now. Let's have a quick meeting.
We're going to the war front now.
Yeah, there's a meeting at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time today.
Our LED will be stationed by 6:30 a.m. on Monday.
Amen.
On Tuesday, I will be there live to lead that rally, and you will all be proud because we are in for something this week. Whether Buhari is there or not, we have to make our voice be heard. Times 10 of everything that we did last week. It has to be stronger. So let us mobilize more people. Let us push that information out like we never did before. I'm going to share those numbers that are with me. I'm going to share it on our platform so that we can reach out to all these people. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again back in New York. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all very much. Bye.